Okay, here we go. Hi, my name is Loretta, or Trinity 6, and welcome to my channel, The Limitless Infinite, a space for you to align your mind to higher vibrations and higher frequencies. So this video today is about the difference between feelings and emotions. And I wanted to make this video because in a couple of my previous videos I've been talking about your sense of self, and the idea of the sense of self is that you're having this sort of sensory experience, and the self that you are senses all these different things, and part of that experience is really the things that we feel. And so when we talk a lot about I am feeling happy or I'm feeling sad, the way that you sense those, what those frequencies and vibrations are, and then this is really about how those feelings turn into what are emotions. I think sometimes people get confused about the difference between feelings and emotions, and so I just wanted to make this quick video to talk about the difference of the two. So, feelings versus emotions. So when you're having this experience, you are basically sensing all these different frequencies and vibrations. And a lot of our feelings, which can range from really, really high, like absolute bliss, to really, really low, which is like devastation. And when we have that range of frequencies as part of our experience, it's kind of it can be challenging, but it can also be a really fun thing to kind of go through those range of different feelings. And so when you have these feelings, as I might have, if you have watched some of the previous videos, you might know that in the previous videos, I talk a lot about when you're having especially negative feelings, that you understand that there's a step-by-step process of manifestation that comes with that. And so when you have a feeling that is, something happens in your experience and you're really upset, like you and someone you know get in a fight and you are really upset, the first stage of that is really understanding that the first thing is that you're feeling upset or you're feeling sad. And upset might encapsulate a number of different frequencies or vibrations, but if you really sit down with your own self and do a little self-inquiry, you can usually get to the core of exactly what feelings are in there. Sometimes upset might include angry or frustration or irritation. There could be a combination of different feelings, but really what it is getting to the core of which feelings you are experiencing, and then understanding that before you take it to the level of I am something, you have the opportunity to kind of catch yourself in the state of just feeling this frequency and vibration before it manifests. And why that's so important is because once you get to the stage of I am something, you have a frequency or vibration that you're feeling, and then that feeling goes into the stage of I am. So it's first I am sad I am feeling sad. And then when you resonate, when you stay with that frequency for a long enough period of time and you're thinking about it, mulling over it, all of a sudden you kind of shift into the state of I am sad. And when you get to that point, the I am sad, now you're really manifesting, because this is the presence. The I am presence is a really important part of creation. And so when you say I am something, then you really are invoking and kind of decreeing these frequencies and vibrations into your reality. And the importance of that is when you get to that stage, this is kind of also where emotions really start to come in. And emotions can come in the feeling stage, but I think it's important to kind of know the process of how we step up to emotions, because emotions, if you take the word, it's really the action of emoting. And what we're emoting is the feelings, the frequencies and vibrations that we're feeling, that we brought into our experience, that we choose to resonate with. All of a sudden that manifests, because that's really an energy. When you say I'm feeling sad, it's a vibration and frequency that comes into your energy field, it comes into your being, you're feeling it. If you choose to say I am it, then that frequency and vibration, which just exists as energy around us or in our field, becomes manifest in our physical body. You know, especially when you say, even when you start to say I'm feeling sad, you can sometimes, like if the event is very like more traumatizing or has a lot more sentiment to you, or a lot of emotional connection, basically what can happen in the beginning is that all of a sudden you'll start to feel like you can feel yourself wanting to cry or wanting to emote. And all that is that basically some part of your energy, some part of your etheric energy or astral energy, if you want to call it that, basically, I like to say, I shouldn't say astral energy, but basically it's like you're almost grabbing a hold of this frequency of vibration, like your sense of self that self is sensing this frequency and vibration that you stated is, I feel sad. This frequency feels sad. And then when you basically resonate or you hang on to this, once you engage with that frequency, you're establishing like a connection with it. And so when you engage with that frequency, because sometimes you can say, I feel sad, and then let it go. You understand that you're just feeling it. It's not really part of your energy field yet, and then sometimes you can let it go when you're in that stage. But if it's something really meaningful or it was really deep or, like I said, very traumatic, sometimes we start engaging with it. And engaging is usually the point at which we are thinking about it. We're thinking about the event, we're playing it over in our mind, we're trying to think of things that we could have done different, or it just was something really meaningful or a person that meant a lot to us. And so when you start engaging more thoughts, all of a sudden now you're engaging, and when you engage, you start resonating. And when you're resonating, you become the I am sad. And when you resonate, sometimes, like I said, sometimes it can happen very quickly. And this can be old programming that we have about just going to the state, something happens and you're like, oh, I'm sad. Because you're not actually stepping yourself through the different levels of, wait a minute, I'm not sad yet, I'm feeling sad. And I have an opportunity here to engage with it if I want to, or not if I don't. But when you get to the stage of, I am sad, which can happen quickly, like I said, all of a sudden it's like, oh gosh, you feel like the tears and welling up in your eyes. You can literally feel your physical body start reacting to this frequency. And what that is like I said, it's the action of emoting these feelings of these frequencies and vibrations that we're feeling, or the action of emoting the frequencies and vibrations that we're feeling. And so when you feel something, you automatically have it can be a catalyst to all of a sudden emoting. If it comes on really fast, or it's like if the feeling's very amplified in your energy field, all of a sudden like this, someone screams at you and you can like all of a sudden feel really choked up. And it's like the power, sort of like the energy that frequency comes into your field. If it comes in really, like what people might say, powerful, you might go right into the act of emoting this, or the action of emoting this. And so it's important to know that emotions are really connected to the physical body. It's the manifestation, the action of this frequency that you're feeling coming through your physical form. And this is, I'm talking about negative things, but this can also happen when you're really happy. Like, say you see somebody that you really like, or that you are super good friends with, and all of a sudden you're smiling. And what that is you don't even realize, but on a subconscious or very quick level, because of programming, because of the nature of the relationship with this person, you see this person, you know them, you have this sort of feeling that you have when you're around them because you're really good friends, and the action of emoting is really fast, and all of a sudden you're smiling. So emotions, and that's like happy, this person makes you really happy, and so you're emoting happy through the physical form by smiling. And so this is important to remember, just the difference between the two, because emoting, when you bring something through your physical body, there's a whole different level of vibration and frequency that comes with that. It's the same thing when you see someone that brings you lots of joy and happiness, like I was just saying, and the act of emoting could be that you like laugh, that you're smiling, that when you say like, hey, what's up, you're like super excited, and that's still all the action of emoting. You're really emoting through your physical form, the frequency and vibration, the connection that you have with this person, the engagement that you have with this person. And I think that the video is really most important when we're establishing connections to negative frequencies or negative feelings or low vibrations or low frequencies, because really what we're trying to do is raise a vibration and frequency. We're trying to bring ourselves into this higher level or higher frequency kind of vibration, and we do that by sustaining our connections with these higher vibrations and frequencies. And the way to do that is, understand that if you have any kind of feeling that's coming, or frequency that comes into your field that you sense as discordant, which is something that makes you feel unwell or not right, or you can just tell is not your vibe, that already in your consciousness, you have to know you already exist as the higher vibration and frequency. And this is a video that I've made previously. You haven't checked it out, check it out. But it's the knowing that if it's discordant, it can only be discordant to you if you are the higher vibration and frequency, sensing this other vibration going, whoa, wait, that's like really not my vibe. And if it's not your vibe, it's because it's low. And so the importance of that is that when all these negative feelings come through, these negative frequencies that you are feeling, that you have that opportunity to first recognize that, okay, I actually exist as a higher vibration and frequency than this thing that I'm feeling that's making me kind of go into the state of I feel upset, because I have to be in order to understand that this is discordant. And then the next thing is going, okay, well, you know what? I don't want to say I am upset, because I'm just feeling really upset. And if you go through stages of kind of taking the time to basically reprogram yourself by stopping yourself from saying, I am upset, I am angry, I am frustrated, I am irritated, into just going, you know, wait a minute, first, I'm just feeling upset. I'm feeling upset. And you might go, I'm feeling really upset, or I'm feeling really frustrated. But if you just today, right now, start engaging in a timeline that is you putting yourself in the mindset that you're really just feeling this frequency and vibration before you say I am, you have a great opportunity to not resonate and not let your higher vibration and frequency drop down and resonate with these discordant lower vibrations and frequencies that you're experiencing. You know, I think a lot of people too have recently said it's like such an important thing as part of our experience that we, you know, experience all different kinds of frequencies and emotions, and the act of emoting these different frequencies. You have to pick and choose, I think, when you really want to engage with something for a long amount of time and when you want it to just be really short. Or it's okay, like I think sometimes if you have a really traumatic event and you just need to cry, I think it's really important to just let yourself cry. So this process isn't necessarily about never getting to the emoting part of experiencing negative frequencies and vibrations, but it's just understanding the level of connection and engagement that you have. So it's like, I'm feeling really sad, and you might want to go into the state of emoting that and releasing it. Like I have this other video that's really about crying is like, should be really liberating, because crying, the tears that you have, it's a way of releasing negative energy. That's why they're salty. And so when you release this negative energy, basically it's like you're feeling so sad that your body manifests the action of emoting that negative frequency through these tears. So you take that frequency and vibration that's making you feel this sad, you basically manifest it in your physical form, and your physical body goes, whoa, I'm gonna put it out in salty tears. I'm gonna transmute this negative energy that's coming through your body with these tears. And a lot of times we kind of just see crying as like this maybe embarrassing or negative thing, or people kind of associate like shameful, and you want to be like isolated and kind of just closed off when you're crying. But really, if you can understand that crying is actually a tool for your physical body to go into the action of emoting the negative energies in your field that you need to release, instead of holding them all in your body and in your energy field, then you realize it's liberating. So it's great to cry. It's great to go through that grieving process, or that process of feeling upset, or understanding, you know, that it's okay to sense or feel a negative vibration and manifest it in your physical body, but then liberate yourself from it through this process. That's what healing is. That's what healing through transmutation is in this kind of process. It's knowing in your mind what you're experiencing, letting yourself feel it, and then letting yourself go into the action of either emoting, you know, beautiful, blissful things, which is smiling and laughing and having a good time and pouring out energy that is love, or liberating yourself from negative energies, which is the action of crying and emoting, or going and talking to someone, or hugging a tree. It's all about release. And so that release, that liberation, I think is really important to associate, especially with crying and negative things, because we often close ourselves off, or we don't want to fully engage in the release because we think it's embarrassing, or we want to be alone when we do it, and we tend to isolate ourselves. And when we do this, when we feel more closed off, when we privatize ourselves in that way, a lot of times I think what happens is we end up holding a lot of that energy in. Like if your body wants to cry, I think cry, absolutely cry. It's your body saying, I need to release this. I need to go into the action of emoting this because I'm feeling it so much that it's just resonating in my physical body and it needs to come out. And a lot of times when we hold off in crying and we kind of like are stifling ourselves from having that experience, you're basically like taking all that resonant frequency and you're just holding it into your physical form. And that's what causes other things like stress and depression and anxiety. And when we do that enough times and we program ourselves to like not do it because we're standing in front of a crowd of people or on a bus or in front of our family, a lot of times what happens is after enough times you program yourself. And the program that you have is that you just take all that and you put it back inside yourself. And then we carry these other sort of subconscious or conscious resonant frequencies with things like stress or anxiety or depression because we're not releasing at the right time. So anyway, I just want to make this quick video, and I know it's getting long, but I hope you understand the difference between feelings and emotions, and understanding the difference and knowing that you can stop yourself, or you have an opportunity to remind yourself that you're really just feeling everything first. And sometimes when you go fast into an emotion, you can go ahead and feel it, but if it's something that you really want to know why you're crying, or you want to really understand that process, just know if you go back to it, like if you just go, something happens, you just start bawling immediately. But if you really want to heal, understanding the process that you were feeling something first, and it might have just been really fast and you went right into the action of emoting it. But I think knowing the process, understanding how it all works, understanding that releasing negative emotions is really a process of liberation, then we can get to resonating with our higher vibration and frequency, the higher vibration and frequency that you really are inside, or sustaining connections to things that are higher vibration, like joy and bliss and absolute love, and knowing that we have the opportunity to sustain those connections by engaging with frequencies that make us emote or bring us into the action of emoting really high vibe positive stuff. And so hopefully this video was helpful. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below, and I will see you in my next video.